Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to today's video where we are yet again going to be discussing this future battle to come between the new team Kara and Konoha. In today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about Kawaki and how the outcome of this fight will change him forever moving on. Hopefully proving to you guys that yes, although the pacing of these past chapters have been kind of slow, one cannot deny the fact that they at least have been good development chapters needed to help set up the future. Oh, and yeah, spoilers, we are not talking about the anime today. In case anyone is confused, we are strictly discussing manga. So moving forward, this is just my opinion on how I think things may play out for this character. Okay, so to begin, I need to confront something that I said in my chapter review, where near the end I stated that on the last page of the chapter, Kawaki seemed to have an internal dialogue where he said, "Give me a break, I don't need no karma." Then afterwards, he said there's still one thing he could do. I said that he wouldn't be taking the karma seal just yet. Some disagree, and to each their own, but the reasoning as to why I'm sticking with my answer is just because I feel like it makes more sense with the story they are building. In chapter 58, Boruto and Kawaki battle for which means of training they will pursue. Boruto wants to go down the old traditional route, while Kawaki thinks they need more extreme methods since code isn't one to take lightly. Which I gotta side with Kawaki on this one. Even with a year's worth of hard but basic training, I highly doubt characters like Mitsuki and Sarada will be able to compete against overpowered characters like Aida, Daemon, and Code, let alone Boruto and Kawaki. They probably can't do anything either. But back to my point, Kawaki losing to Boruto means that they have to go down the traditional route. Why I think this is important is because if Kawaki is not taking the karma seal and they lose this upcoming battle due to not being prepared, I think this will ultimately incentivize him into then taking it. So in summary, Boruto and Kawaki have a disagreement on how to get stronger. They go with Boruto's way. It fails, meaning they weren't prepared. Something happens to Naruto. I doubt he's dead based off of what Kawaki says in the time skip, but maybe it was a close call and he's heavily wounded. Kawaki blames himself and has a possible argument with Boruto about the shinobi way and how that almost cost him Lord 7, telling him that moving forward he's doing things his own way, no matter what it is, no matter what the cost. That's the summary on how I thought they were building up Kawaki's character to transition from a kid who was lost on many things, his place in the shinobi world, how he plans to get stronger in order to protect loved ones, etc., to almost losing the one thing that's keeping him going because they didn't stick to what he thought was the right decision, now determined to not make that same mistake. And despite Kawaki's cold nature at times, like attacking Mitsuki and Sarada without a warning, or telling Boruto to put a karma seal on someone else, even if they are harsh methods, sometimes it may be the necessary factor in order for things to succeed, which I think Boruto, Naruto, and a bunch of other people fail to understand. Whereas past characters like Pain, Madara, or even Sasuke at one time felt like in order to correct the corrupted shinobi system, despite their goals, there always needed to be blood, sacrifice, in order for the world to evolve. They were all revolutionists that aimed towards a better future of their visions. Whereas with Kawaki, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say he will end up as one as well, but I think with the failure outcome of this upcoming battle, this will be when Kawaki will first start to realize that shinobis and what makes a shinobi is going to be their greatest downfall, because of the simple fact that they just simply cannot compete with cyborgs and parasites from other planets. Especially if we are faced with even greater threats than these cyborgs, no amount of hard, tough training is going to prepare any kind of ninja. I don't care who it is, not even Boruto. This is why chapter 58 was so important, and I suggest that you guys go back and read what Kawaki was trying to say. And I said it in that chapter review that Kawaki is 100% right. Normal means of getting stronger is not gonna cut it. Not even close. Even if Kawaki were to take back the karma seal before the fight, I completely understand why he would do it. Now with this new cyborg Amado is making, I'm sure that'll be the main reason as to why Code won't be successful into killing all of his targets, but even then, it's not just Code they gotta worry about. It's two other ones even stronger than him, which I doubt Amado knows of. And it brings up another point following what I said about characters like Boruto and Naruto just simply being too stubborn, sticking to the ways of the past, which for most characters isn't gonna cut it. And you can feel indifferent towards Kawaki's views. If you're not a fan of obtaining power quickly, I understand, because, we all grew watching Naruto, but this is a new era. We aren't facing Akatsuki level threats, these are all godly level threats. Villains more threatening than Kaguya, who was a final villain in the Naruto story. And I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but these are kids, minors. It's not like they got centuries to get stronger. They barely got time to prepare for Code, and maybe a couple years, like 2 to 3, to prepare for the series' final greatest villain, if we assume that the story will end near Boruto's teenage years. Take that as you will, like I said, to each their own, but if you're on Team Boruto and you'd instead like to see maybe new abilities, markings, transformations in conjunction with these young shinobi's training, that'd be cool. But I'm gonna be honest, if you take everything into account, it really seems like shit is going to go down this upcoming battle, which will lead into changing everything for everyone. Now, one last thing before we end off this video is the the fact that we need to talk about Aida betraying Code, which I think is inevitable. Not just because of the fact that she avoided telling Code about other abilities, but for the same reason that is also something I found kind of confusing about Kara. See, with Kara, Ishiki promised each of them a wish. Any wish. The issue I have here is, what's the point of the wish if Ishiki was just going to suck the planet dry anyways, killing everything on Earth? And I guess you could say Kara didn't know about the 10 tails, only Code, which could make sense, since he sims heavily for Ishiki, even if it kills him. And now with Code, he's essentially been given the task to become his own Otsutsuki, which in order to do so, he needs a chakra fruit. And to get a chakra fruit, well, you guys see where I'm going. Code promises Aida that Kawaki will be left alone, just for him to eventually kill him and everyone else when taking on the chakra fruit. Even if Aida doesn't realize it now, eventually that discussion is going to have to get brought up, which is why down the line I don't see Code and Aida on the same team, instead facing off against each other. But that topic may be for another video. Part of me also wants to make a video on what could happen if Kawaki does end up taking the Karma Seal, which is definitely worthy enough of its own. And that's gonna do for today, everyone. If you enjoyed today's topic, I'd very much appreciate a like, and be sure to let me know how you guys feel about Kawaki's method of obtaining power, and if you agree or disagree on it. Thank you to everyone who watched until the end, and I'll catch you on the next one.